The potentially final matchup here in this best of three, technically double best of three set between LG and CLG. CLG come out on top here, which is what they did last time we played this between these two teams just a couple hours ago. That they're going to win it all, $10,000 for first place. But if LG come out swinging and they make it and they take this set 2-1, we reset, we go back down to 0-0, we do it all over again to figure out who our true champion is going to be here at the WinOut land. My name is Blue. Joining me is Sprawl. Sprawl, what are your thoughts going into this match?
Well, like you were saying when we were in freeze time, if Knife Round goes to CLG, they're probably going to get the start that they're looking for. And again, last time we saw this, CT side, an incredible victory for them. And again, they're going to be able to choose that side here. So, CT side start, like you were stating, third map of this grand final. First, best of three, potentially two. And we'll see how this goes here. Obviously, on Cobblestone, very popular to actually go to the B side of things, but I feel like on Pistol Round, because so many teams actually utilize that drop-down play, it's almost mind game-ish to go A because of how potent that can be.
And as well, I'm sure you could hear it in the background too here, but we do have a new piece of technology here at the WinOut 20K LAN, courtesy of our producer next to us, so big shout out to him. But I'm going to call it the hype mic.
The hype mic, I like it.
And I'm going to trademark that. I will take that.
Right.
I'll take it all the way to the bank. So every time there is a big victory, and you'll know the ones that LG win, I'm just going to say that in advance.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You're going to hear it, guys. So once again, big shout out to our producer for setting that up for us. You're going to be able to hear it. And you can actually hear it there, too, that when CLG, like normally it's like, oh, okay, we won Knife Round, big deal. But for CLG, and so far, the record coming into this, for pretty much all maps, with the exception of Cash back on the first set these two played, CT side has essentially meant victory on that map. So there's plenty of reason to celebrate for CLG coming off that. But the pistol round could very much throw the curveball in that. So let's see what happens here on the pistol round for CLG CT side.
And Hazed actually spots the bomb coming up middle, but they're actually going to split through drop down as well. So best of both worlds, then you get the drop down and they're going to get a flank on here. So two frags go in the way, make it, actually rather a 2-on-2 here as Steel has the bomb inside of the site. Cold tries to come up from behind, but it's JDM to get the triple kill. Steel now 1-on-2, and he has so much time to play with. He will go for the bomb plant. He knows at least where one of the players is. That nade, 3 hit points, and to follow it up, JDM with the 4K, and again, the crowd goes wild.
More of the teams themselves than the crowd, but there's indeed going to be big reason to celebrate here. CLG coming out big and taking that first round. It was a little bit close there, but JDM, nothing to scoff at there, coming out of the pistol round with a 4K.
Oh, yeah.
Big plays from him, and that, of course, is going to mount them off here with the lead at the start. And as for Luminosity Gaming, they're going to have to work from the bottom up here, try to build something up. They did get this plan on the first round here, so if they take it light enough, they can go for the rifle buy on the third round, but we'll see if that's going to be the case. They go for the tech and buy overall fairly light and should make that third round buy a possibility, especially if they can get another plant here on round number 2.
Yeah, as a third round AK buy can be especially potent, and we can actually see JDM Tarek going with P90s, so not going to upgrade coming into that next round. So again, we'll see how that comes into play. Hazed with the first as he takes down Steel. More drop down plays. They are going to take out a connector here. Nice frag for them, but Hazed going to be able to put up a bit of a defense. Nice frag on Bolts as he tries to make it through that underpass area. Fallen now 1v4. Takes down Tarek, and again, making this pretty darn expensive here. Going to try and dive bomb out of that drop down window, but it will be finesse to clean things up. 2-0 here as CLG now going to have to deal with, like we were suggesting, that AK buy.
Yep, and now we're going to see that coming right into the picture. The big question is going to be what exactly can CLG buy up to work against this here, because to be completely honest, I mean, you take a look here, they don't have all that much in the way of rifles here. Only 3 out of 5 players actually using rifles. JDM back up with a P90, and Tarek as well still rolling with an MP7, so they're going to be a little bit light on that. They have to hope they don't meet themselves out in wide angles, and those with SMGs, you can see they're going to have to take these close angle plays. So one JDM, who could obviously go with the P90, take a little bit of a more of a longer range fight, is going to position himself over here by the tree rock, and then Tarek will take the close range battle very close up here at the broken wall.
And we see Cutler might find an engagement soon. Hazed actually going to push up in middle and see a lot of long A aggression here. Steel actually going to provide a little bit of feedback as he drops down, but Hazed gets a frag as it looked like he's caught off guard for just a moment, but flick of the wrist as he brings it on down, and Steel will be on the bench for the remainder here. Cutler is going to have to help out eventually as he is just going to fall back, so maybe not a bad play. Actually, Finesse rotates in, and now he's going to get aggressive, but again, Color's just playing inside, and that's actually an interesting kind of development as he's not really peaking with those players that we're rotating in. So interesting stuff, as that's actually going to give Luminosity a pretty good advantage, trying to continue into A.
And now Cole's going to push out here, looking to see if he can find Tarek by the van. Jumping around, but it's not going to work. The dual spray. 1-for-1 trade once again. Now Tarek gets hit heavily, but still cleaning it up.
Wow.
Tarek and Cutler. Cutler coming out big with the final 2 frags. Very close round, but CLG making it out at the end of it. 3-0 now. Very, very close. And I'm a little bit worried about what's going to happen when we see the full guard round. You have to remember that one was a little bit lighter on the Terror side. They're able to get the buy, but it's missing that key impact rate. It's missing the key support utility that we come to expect on the big buy rounds like that. There wasn't a whole full stack of nades on a lot of those players. They weren't able to work with the full utility kit that they're used to using. Now we'll have to see what happens when they get that, but for now it is going to be dropped down onto another eco for them. So if all goes well, we should be able to see CLG coming out pretty easily on top of this one too. And they actually go back for the same setup they have been using. JDM again picking up another P90, and that's their finesse. He's going to be using the MP7 this time, where they stick to three rifles here. So this is looking like something common for them to use on eco rounds, and to be completely honest, it's not a terrible idea.
And here we go, JDN letting it rip as they're trying to make it off the broken wall, and he will secure the ace. And we are going to see the Logitech replay of JDM just mowing them all down. They try and just dive on out, and you're hoping to get that initial frag and open up the bomb site, but instead you are welcomed by that P90 of JDM. So again, here we go, Logitech replay as they try and make that work. And moving into this next round, it is going to be a bye here. Yet again, AKs across the field. Now, how do they change their approach? Looks like Bolts is going to go for, or he's hoping to go for that aggressive broken wall play. But they're going to smoke it off instead, so he's not able to do so. And this is something that we see a lot of teams do. You smoke kind of early on broken wall, and allows you to get out to that plateau, and it's a very potent angle to work with. But some attention towards long A as well. Hayes lines up a nice angle, but Pop Flash will white scream him momentarily. Cutler will be there to help out, though. The bait and switch as Hayes going to re-peek, but Cold will take him down.
And again, that's that little bit of over-aggression on the CT side that we're usually used to seeing on CLG that ends up costing them extra men. So, I mean, they start off good with the one-player takedown, but then they unnecessarily push forward again, and they're going to lose one and bring it back down to a 4-on-4 where they could have been a man up. So, response mollies and overall response needs are coming out here now, as there is going to be a little bit of a push coming out from the T side. However, it's all going to be a ruse, and it's all in an attempt to sell this fake, and it's working out really well. As at the very least, they've moved Tarek off the actual side and over here towards window to watch out for a drop push. The drop push is going to come in, and this is another big thing to keep in mind here too, is they can't actually stop a drop push right now. Tarek is completely out of position to move towards that, but it's also being faked again. However, they don't realize it over here on the LG side, is that all attention is focused over here towards the broken wall, and it'll be Tarek ripping it apart again here. He's going to find one finesse, picking up another, and even getting that big flank there to take out those final two. So a big wrap from him, and a big play indeed to shut it down 5-0 so far for CLG.
Yeah, very nice start for the CLG side, and Luminosity. Yet another rifle round goes by, and not that successful in it. So I'm wondering if they're going to adapt. Obviously, they're trying to adapt, but the CLG members just able to stuff them seemingly whichever way they go. And like you would say, there was that aggression early. They found that pick, but just not able to build off of it. What is this? JDM going to go for an up pick in drop down. That's a bit of a new technique for my eyes. I don't know about you, but
stuck on that off town.
Right, that was a nice one. As now, man advantage to CLG. Tark going to be playing broken wall. Bolts tries to flash his way through. Not going to be successful doing so. They're going to go towards drop to test finesse. He will get one before going down, but currently the player advantage. That's not a bad situation.
And again here, 2 left to line for Luminosity Gaming. More of an economical mission than anything at this point, but Fallen's going to find one. JDM trading it out quickly after that one to put it all into the hands of Cold at a 1-on-3 inside of the initial corridor inside drop, but there's JDM again coming out big. An absolute monster so far, leading the team by a big margin, 13 kills, 2 deaths, and the next highest teammate is Cutler, sitting at only 6 frags. So JDM once again coming out in a big way, already with 1 4K, 1 ace, and 1 3K here, and I think there might be a couple others that have snuck in there as well that might not be showing on the stat score. So huge placement so far, and we're going to look for that to continue for the rest of this match.
And if JDM is on, it's honestly such a difficult problem to deal with, as if he's just that op, it's one thing, but he actually had 4 kills in the pistol round, so it's such an impactful player when he is on.
No, that's what I said, and I mentioned it earlier in the first episode of these two teams too, that I really think JDM is a pretty underrated player, and he's been thankfully been given the opportunity to show that more and more recently, and I really hope he does go on to success, because I think he's definitely a really good player, really good opper, and overall really good addition to the CLG roster that came on recently, and he's been given that time to really get himself comfortable with the team, and has made himself to be one of the star players so far on this roster.
And have you seen him play? The most relaxing, like, the guy is lounging.
He's
like, you would never expect the guy gets an ace and he's like, Yes.
He's
just
literally
leaning back.
He's literally maxing and relaxing in the chair,
Right.
leaning back. You know, arms maxed out in the V shape, just chilling out, all cool. He's probably one of the coolest sitting positions you can see on a
Looking
player.
really, really cool.
I get jealous whenever I see, like, man, I wish I could sit that cool, look that cool, and frag that well while I'm doing it.
It's like professional sports players when they get their picture on the field and they just get that perfect look, right? JDM always in that position and ready. As we do see another rifle round here. 7-0, CLG looking very nice. But we will see Fur actually pick up an opening frag. And actually, his second one is cold towards drop down, but Cutler will be able to return. But can he continue? It's actually JDM, again, speak his name, and he comes up with...
Oh!
We do see a massive play here. Bolt's now in a 1v2.
And Tarek's going to easily close things out there from Bolts as he goes for the blind peek and main door there. The celebrations continue to come out. CLG inching closer and closer to that $10,000 top prize pool here and eliminating Luminosity Gaming, as well as getting to go back to the hotel and get to bed a little bit earlier tonight.
Right. Little consolation prize there. It is pretty late here on the East Coast.
And another thing here, too, is look at the money stacked out for CLG, too. It's gotten to that very dangerous point here. 3 players sitting above 7K, so 3 players in a potentiality to rebuy for 1 or 2 rounds. And even those that are lower, they can easily bank off of that 11K on the other 2 there. So shouldn't have any problems at all going for 1, potentially 2 full rebuys here if we start to see LG pick up those rounds. And this would be one for them to do it on, as this is going to be another full buy round at the hands of Luminosity.
Yeah, a full loss bonus. Again, they're able to get everything they require. But is it going to make the difference is the question, as they have positioned towards the drop-down area. Lots of focus towards that B side. Cold, making sure that they don't push up from behind, as actually we've seen Finesse do similar things and flank them as they're trying to work the broken wall. But with a minute left, he will rendezvous with the rest of the team, heading towards, again, broken wall. Tarek will be laying in wait. First line of defense here as... Again, the smoke is about to dissipate, so things are about to get very interesting. Tarek with a really nice pop flash. He's fully blind, but he blinds pretty much everybody as well. And although he goes down, he gets a little bit of info. JDM with 1, but now we will see the plant, but...
And a smoke to cover it that came up from the tees, too, so now he's safe. He's gotten home. He's at home playing here. He scored the touchdown, so Cold and Steel, they're going to have to try to work something out here, but with their own smoke, they've secured one of their opponent's live stakes. Hayes moves in. He finds 1. Steel looking to keep himself alive, and while he's going to be able to take down Cutler, but Hayes now sneaking around him. They already know his position, so all they've got to do is execute upon that. They look for the dual spray angle. It's going to be a little hard to set up here because he does retreat behind tree, but now only 10 seconds left. However, he finds 1, but Hayes shuts it down. Gets a little bit close there, and economically speaking, a victory for Luminosity Gaming as they kill 4 out of the 5 players from CLG. But now we're getting into the later stages of the half, and economical victories are not going to be enough. So we are going to see the pause coming out here, and this is a perfect time to do so. We're just in that transitionary period from mid to late round of the half here. And overall, this is where we need to see Luminosity dig deep, come out in a large way here, find some way to break the money. This is going to be a great chance to do it because, as I just said, they've now forced 4 rebuys, so everybody's going to be somewhat lower. And if they can get 1 more round here where they can pull off something like that, if they take the victory, then they are going to be able to break the bank over there on the CLG side of things and start to put consistent rounds onto the board here.
Yeah, and I still can't believe that team kill came in because he was going for the bomb plant, and that was actually... Luminosity that killed their own teammate as they were lined up, and I thought that the CT side was going to basically spray down as they lined up, but it actually was a team kill back coming the other direction in that B-bomb site, and again, things spiraling out of control. And like you were saying, it was a lot of damage dealt, but at this point, the pause comes in, they're not getting rounds, and at the end of the day, you could keep them as broke as you can, but if you're not getting rounds, you're just not going to win the match. So 9 rounds in, I almost think that they should have taken this a little bit sooner, as, again, on the CT side of Cobble last time, they're experiencing similar things, and clearly the adjustments that they made from the last time they played it aren't really taking an effect. And again, they have had some close rounds, but they're not, now at 9-0. The economy of the CT side is pretty out of control. We'll see what they can come up with here. I'm not counting them out of it at any point, but again, things looking bleak for Luminosity, not so much for CLG, as they are primed to take this tournament.
And another thing for CLG here too, just to think about and just to consider now, as they are looking a little bit more fragile in terms of the money situation, is for some of their players at least. is, you know, don't get over aggressive. Don't go back to that, you know, play style where you're the man up and you're going for these pushes where you really don't need to. And I mean, yeah, you can win them and you can get an even greater advantage against your opponents to close out the round faster, but with you being a man up, you shouldn't have problems closing out. So if you go out and now you lose that fight, then you're giving your opponents a free advantage. So hopefully, again, and not only that, but of course you're hindering the overall economy for the rest of your team. So it's just a little bit of an unnecessary move when you're a man up. Plenty of reason to play aggressive when it's even terms, but at least here, when they do have an advantage, it might not be so necessary. And we'll have to see if they make that adjustment or if they continue onwards. Obviously, again, they've been continuing to play aggressive, and although the money is looking a little bit lower, they're still leading 9-0. So really, who are we to judge? But we will see how that impacts here if LG start to take advantage of that. And LG are going to take this round a lot slower than some of their previous ones, as the buy is looking relatively weak from them. Once again, 2 Tech-9s, 2 Galleys, and an AK sitting on Steel. Steel's already met a lot of damage here, brought down to 26 HP. And no sign of a take coming in any time soon here either, as they are looking for that aggression, but at the same time not going to find it. And even if we see somebody try to work towards a drop take, Cutler is in sort of like a halfway point position between aggressive and passive, and he's actually going to wait for players to go up the steps, and he should be able to find at least one here. Looking for it and catch them with the nades out too. It does get traded though, because he isn't happy with that first kill, but still now he's going to get a little bit more info onto this play, and actually it's going to rotate back over towards the A side, come out outside window. Bolt's trying to split the players in half, but it's not going to work out. Hayes shuts him down, and now this take attempt is going to start here on the A site.
And JDM not able to get that first player out long A, but Hayes going to chime in, gets 2 for himself. Steel will trade, but 1v2, and it will be finesse to clean things up. And I honestly love that play from Cutler. So many players in that position are just going to lurk forward, because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you, right? It's just so tempting to just gain that extra ground, but instead he takes that forward position and he makes pretty good use of it. Yeah, there is the 1-for-1, but at that point of the round, lots of information to where the T's are coming to, and again, they're able to stifle the play. And to further your thought, like, they do give up those advantages sometimes, but it also is sometimes where they gain that advantage in the first place. So, gotta live by the sword, die by the sword, if you will. But I agree, sometimes a little bit unnecessary. But we see 3 Luminosity members left up. They are going to be able to take down one more. Bolt onto JDM. Fallen will get the bomb set, but outnumbered here as, now a 1v1, but he goes down to the fire and the flames. Cutler will be able to get the defuse and the 11th round.
Did you see how petitely positioned that op was there?
Petitely positioned.
He was just sitting there on the wall, ready to be picked up by any passerby.
On display. It's like,
it was a very polite op. So 11-0 now. CLG really starting to shut it down against the terrorist side here. And again, Luminosity, I mean, they've taken that pause. They've had, I would have to say, they've had a little bit more success with getting onto the site, attempting to get that plant. But this is another problem here too. Is just they're not even really getting onto the site enough to actually get the plant. We are 11 rounds in, and there's been 2 plants so far.
Yeah, and that's the downside, that's for certain. Because at least if you're getting those plants, you get a lot more rifle rounds. But Finesse takes down Furs. They try and work drop once again. Tarek fully blinded, side of the site, but he still gets the frag. As towards Broken Wall, he gets another one as well. Fallen now finding himself in a 1v4 bleak situation as Cutler takes him down. And again, they survive with multiple members remaining, and that round didn't take so long at all. CLG looking to take this grand final in very convincing fashion.
And here we go. It's just running away for them at this point. And as you had said, without those plants, they can't really consistently get strong rifle rounds onto the board. And it's really reached the culling point here for the terrorist side, as they can't even really afford AKs anymore. It's pretty much a complete buyout. The remaining money left in the bank here, total for LG, is going to be something around like $300 to $400 here. So it's just absolutely nothing left here. And as you can see, it's all Galils, a very minimal amount of flashbangs and smokes, so not really enough to make a consistent take. Bolts does find an opener, however, so frag-wise, they might have an opportunity to do this. They're going to try to work their way out, and actually they're going to catch one more player. Tarek is going to grab that smoke there, or grab that kill just as the smoke is coming out, and he's going to flash directly into this, not finding one, and gets an ugly peek. There's 2 more players find him, so finally a situation where LG are in control and might just be able to put their first round on the board, but Cutler, very patient, waiting for the push to come out from there. He's going to find one. Hayes picked up another one, but Fallen trades it out, and now it's all on Hayes in a 1-on-3 situation. He's going to push forward, looking for Fur here through the main doors. Might he find it? He's going to duck out of the way just in time, but now he's giving away his position, and everybody here on Luminosity Gaming can't get themselves ready into the post plan just to counter him out.
Yeah, hazed 1v2. He's flanking from long A, and he really did bring his team back into the round with the frag he initially got, but not able to take down Fallen again. He knew the bomb was planted, obviously, at A, and that 1T was lurking around there, but he was caught out in the open, and that will be the first round here for Luminosity. Now, even if they win out the half, still a bit of a bleak scoreline, but again, maybe the same mentality comes into play. If they did it to us, we could do it to them.
Absolutely, and I mean, CLG at this point has no reason to worry. Like, they could give away these last 2 rounds. So long as they take the pistol, then they've almost immediately won this tournament here. If they don't, then they're 3 gun rounds away from being safe to at least taking an OT and 4 away from victory. So it's going to be very, very hard to stifle the enthusiasm, I would have to say, at this point for CLG. But there is still a chance to put a couple more rounds on the board and make it sort of, I would say, increase the chances here for LG to maybe swing this comeback and maybe keep themselves alive, and maybe, just maybe, a lot of maybes in play here, of course, to take this map and reset the set.
Yep, as Counter-Strike, a game of what-ifs and plenty of questions, but they will be answered in just a moment. Here's Fur, pulls out a flash it! Quite possibly the worst timing there, Tarek. The fortune on this man as he will capitalize. Hayes coming up from middle, and I don't know if they're going to recognize that he is coming up from behind. Cold peaks, but he goes down, and this is such an unfortunate round for Luminosity to lose if indeed Fallen cannot clutch. As we say time and time again, you can't afford to win 1 round and lose the one thereafter. You've got no bank, no loss bonus after that fact. So Fallen, critical that he clutches. Honestly, for their tournament life, I really don't think that 1 round is going to be enough, even if they get pistol. But with 20 seconds remaining, just lurking, and I don't blame him for trying to find a 1v1 here to plant and then have them all come to him. It definitely could be a bleak situation. So he will just slowly creep up. 10 seconds remaining. He's giving himself enough time to basically just get the bomb down. He was hoping to find someone. He didn't. And now it's going to be a 3-on-1.
So he's going to get it here, and again, that's going to bolster the money a little bit. So although he will more than likely, all clutches bearing here, get eliminated, and they'll defuse this. It's going to get them the $800 in that. Here we go. Hayes finds the headshot. The defuse is going to be coming out as girls are screaming.
Right. I promise you everything is all right. They're just excited about the game. Usually I'd be worried, but
the CLG groupies are hanging out in the back.
Well, CLG Red I know is hanging out, so they are definitely, you guys even check on Twitter, they are doing a lot of stuff together. So the support is there, and I'm sure that's who we are hearing currently. 13-1. As, like you had suggested, they do at least get that bomb plant. But at this point, to get the second round, we'll see if they can be successful. Still, really difficult situation. Honestly, if I'm LG, I tape the scoreline off of my monitor and just play round for round. That's the way they have to look at it.
It's got to be a mental reset, as you said. There's no way in hell that they're going to turn this. They're going to be able to turn this around on the second half if they consider everything that's happened in the first round. Just wipe your minds clean. Try to take it as if it's a clean score and work it from there. And I mean, obviously, you drop the pistol round, it's done, so that's a lot of pressure work, as this round is definitely going into CLG's favor. If Bolto clutches, it would be a miracle, but again, 1-on-3, he's picked up an M4, but not really a whole lot to work with, and they already know where he is, so it's not like he can clutch this out by playing it very cautiously and sitting back. So Bolts, once again, here trying to work it. He brings Tarek down to 7 HP, and he's going to hang back for now, as they are having a little bit of trouble eliminating, but they've also got a trade out in this case, and they brought him down to 3 HP in this case as well, so there you have it. Cutler with a little one-tap there, takes him right out of the play. Many celebrations being had on the CLG side again, and there's plenty of reason to. as now we're going to switch the house here, and as I said, a lot of pressure here on the side of LG. They have to try and get rid of it somehow, but with the stakes as high as I just mentioned they were, where it's basically, if you don't win the fifth round, I mean, you're done, then it's going to be very hard to wipe the slate, as you said, mentally speaking, and try to take this as if it was a clean slate to flip it back around in the second half.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm sure Luminosity up for the task, because again, massive prize pool. This is a $20,000 land, so fighting for that 10K first prize. I would fight for the comeback for 10 grand. I definitely would do so, and obviously that's exactly the case here as we see. Oh boy. Not the way they wanted to start in the slightest, as CLG looking to put themselves on match and tournament point by taking this pistol round.
Tarek even going to sit here and wait for that push to come outside the smoke. Cold will find one lucky shot there. He's going to take out Finesse, picking up a second here. A little bit more aggressive this time around, as he's going to be able to find JDM, but it's Fur along with Cold. Moving in there, Fur is actually going to be able to take this out, but Tarek as well picking up Cold, now looking to eliminate Fur at 7 HP, potentially tournament life on the line if they don't clutch this up. The nade comes, it was almost a really good nade, but it bounces off, and Tarek gets the blind spray there. It kills him through the tree.
Of course.
15-1, and you can just hear it, man. They know they've got it at this point. They're 1 round away. It's not done just yet, but it's a fairly safe bet to say at this point here. 15-1, an absolutely dominating third map here in the set. A little bit of trouble on map number 2 in Mirage, but I mean, they definitely showed their stuff here on map 3 on Cobble. 15-1 and only 1 away from closing out, and a heavy economical advantage. Quite obviously, Luminosity are going to force this up to the best of their abilities, but there shouldn't be too big of a problem here on CLG's part to just make this entry on the B side and finish things off from there.
We're going to see Cold looking for that boost play at drop, but they don't spot anything immediately, so they're going to rotate over to A. But as we can see, that's just going to be Broken Wall the focus, as honestly, that's a great idea. If you go to drop with those CZ75s, that close range, that's what the CT pistols are hoping for. So they take that long range Broken Wall Avenue. They are going to get the bomb set. Now, they haven't fragged out just yet here, as there's 3 CTs remaining, but this could be it. We've got Cold, Fur, and Steel. Steel and Fur now, last ones, heading towards Broken Wall. Cutler could end it here and now, and it's going to be him to do so. The IGL for CLG. They are going to take WinOut land here in Philadelphia.
Well, it's going to be $10,000 going their way. Second place, I believe, will be taking home $5K, so not too bad either. But CLG, again, the big champions here tonight. Very dominating performances on our first and third maps, and going to take it here in the first set after coming out of the upper bracket completely undefeated. And yeah, very nice job from them. Huge victory indeed. Coming out over the Brazilians, who managed to make it out of the group stages twice in the previous majors. And as well there, just overall very, very good set from the CLG guys, and an overall very good tournament. A lot of highlight reels that we're going to be had from these guys. Specifically, JDM has been an absolute monster. I would say the 2 biggest shining stars, 3 technically here. Tarek performing at his normal there. Tarek obviously doing a lot of fragging power and overall just being Tarek as we would expect. But JDM, along with Hazed as well, did a really phenomenal job this tournament. JDM, as always, as I said, there is definitely one of the bigger players in this team. And Hazed as well actually surprised me quite a bit this week, and he was doing a really good job and making some absolutely monster plays, which gave the CLG roster rounds, which I honestly wouldn't have expected them to get otherwise.
Yeah, CLG just bringing it home again, showing that they can take on the likes of Luminosity. They are going to be the champions here, and there is actually a trophy and all. They get to hold, if you guys see that WinOut logo holding the trophy, they get that exact one. It is a beautiful trophy. We got it set up in the other room here, so again, congratulations to them, and we do have to, of course, give a shout out to all of our sponsors here, as without them, this event would not be possible. Again, Zubu, we've got Esport Gaming, we've got Skin Arena, Alpha Draft, OP Skins, Gamers Apparel. If I'm missing anything, I think that's pretty much it. We are going to do a winner's interview. So, guys, we'll take a very short break here. Pull one of the CLG members in after they're done celebrating a little bit. So, guys, we're going to take a very short break. But if you want to see that interview, stay tuned here to WinOut at Zubu. That was quick. Never mind. We are going right into things, as we've got the man Tarek coming up to the stage.
I guess you're taking this then?
Whatever works for you, my friend.
All right, I will step away.
All right. Tarek. All right, Tarek.
What's up, man?
What's up with you? You guys obviously pulling off a hell of a victory here. How does it feel taking WinOut land?
Feels amazing. Honestly, it's not a huge land, but winning against a team like Luminosity makes it just as much better.
Right? 10K in your pocket, no big deal.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
how did you guys feel? Obviously, it did go back and forth a little bit, but Cobblestone, once again, you guys just working your game. Were you surprised? Did you feel like they did try and adapt to your play?
On Cobble?
On Cobblestone specifically, because obviously you guys had a really good CT side in the last set, and really good CT side once again.
I don't know. I felt like we played them on Cobble earlier. We didn't really change anything up. I think they were struggling kind of like to adapt to our playstyle on CT side Cobble, because we played them like earlier in this tournament, literally, and we like did the same thing.
Exactly.
So it seems like they struggled against our playstyle. But on Mirage, they just like completely destroyed us, which we didn't expect at all.
Right.
So it's just like sort of back and forth, like this whole tournament.
And that's the interesting thing. When we look back at the other best of 3, the devastating score lines going back and forth. Honestly, in my experience watching CS, especially at the top level, we see a lot of 16-14s. That's usually the result. What do you think created those score lines?
I couldn't tell you. I feel like it's just unlucky games, honestly.
Yeah.
Like 16-4 is just like you can't really give an answer. It's just like everything went wrong basically.
Right.
If you lose a game like that. And that's how it was for us. Like for the most part, it was just like devastating losses for both teams back and forth. And the last game of the series like gets close somehow.
Right. in good fashion, I suppose, as it almost went, well, not almost, as you guys dominated that third map, but it could have went to that second best of 3. Were you guys ready to rock if that did indeed was the case?
It would have sucked, but we would have definitely been ready to play, 100%.
Right, as it is very, very late here, and here it is.
Oh my
the
God,
WinOut
this
trophy,
thing's
right?
huge.
Right?
Holy crap.
It is the identical one we got for the WinOut guy up there, and Tarek, you hold it quite well.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Not too bad at all. So again, the champions here, CLG. I'll let you go and hang out with your team, as obviously, congratulations all around. Obviously, shout-outs if you would like.
Shout out to all our sponsors. Appreciate all their support and help. Shout out to all the CLG fans, all of everyone that's honestly supported us here. This is actually like the second LAN we've won as a team. We won CEVO LAN. This is our second win. So honestly, I think we should just keep going to all the local LANs and just claiming all these trophies because they are dope.
Gonna work out pretty well. Again, CLG Tarek, congratulations.
Thank you, man.
And everybody at home, thanks for watching. We're done here at the WinOut LAN. That's a wrap.